Hey guys, and welcome to Ayakashi Akashi, a freeware occult mystery novel about a school teacher in rural Japan. There are beings known as Ayakashi. They cause peculiar phenomena and at times inflict harm. As a consequence, they have long been seen as fearful beings. One could interpret their name as sharing dead, for they merely seek the things they couldn't have in the places they once were. They simply want to share in those same blessings. This must be my punishment. What's going on here? In which case, there's only one thing to do. By the way, there are content warnings for this game. R15, which is sort of adult. So there's probably going to be some gore or violence in here. Sigh. This is some rain. To think it was just sweltering earlier. I scratched my head and looked up to the sky. As if the good weather earlier were a dream, large drops poured from the heavens and struck down against the ground unceasingly. Oh? Mr. Yoinara? Oh, whatever could you be doing out here? Well, what does it look like? Still gazing up at the sky, I waved my hands in front of my eyes. My slightly damp sleeves clung to my skin. My, so you haven't an umbrella? That's a pity. A pity, eh? Doesn't look like you intend to help. Why, for how often we're together, did you really think me the sort of person who would help in such a situation? Well then, I will take my leave. You will be late as well if you don't hurry, Mr. Yoinara. Paying no mind to me standing there, Tina left with a leisurely gait. Yep, that's just like how she is. Guess I'll wait a little longer. Worst case, I'll go and get soaked. Increasingly filled with resignation, as the sound of rain only got louder, I let out a sigh. And then, 2 sets of footsteps broke through that sound, heading my way. Mister! Oh, that's a boy. Mister! Mister! You mean me? Mister! Mister? Oh, it's Misty, all right. What you doing, mister? I didn't bring an umbrella, so I can't go to school. I'm stuck. Are you kids lost? We're not lost, right? Right. Nope. Then what are you up to on this dreary morning? Mister? Not the best conversation I've ever had. Besides, I need to hurry, or I'd be late for class. Mister! Sorry, but I'm in a hurry. Hold up here and keep out of the rain. It should help your parents to find you. It is still raining, but it's gotten better than before. May just have to put up with getting wet. Ignoring the 2 fussing children, I sprinted off into the raindrops that fell harder and harder. I didn't want to deal with this nuisance. Is the nuisance he's referring to the rain or the children? Where are you going? Riri's going too. Sigh. I managed to give the slip to the 2 chasing children and arrived at school. What was with those kids? Oh, Yoi-chan, morning. Good morning, Mr. Yoinara. Rokuro and Zero. Morning. You look kinda like an overworked mop today, Teach. It has been raining a whole lot. No umbrella? It wasn't raining when I left. That's why you gotta check the TV. True. Well, it'll drive soon at any rate. Come on, get back to the classroom. Right, right. Hi. First period. Math, right? I'm not the best at teaching it, but I have a fondness for mathematics. These buildings are old, to put it nicely. They had character. To put it meanly, they were falling apart. On rainy days especially, there were often places that leaked, and we didn't have many teachers nor students. I taught a class of second years, but there was effectively only one class per grade. I attended a middle school like that. It was a pretty new school, to be fair, so there were a lot less students, but there was only one class for 7th grade and one class for 8th grade. Though naturally, separate teachers were needed for supplementary subjects like art. Guess I'll get going. Ah, 5th period at last. Mr. Yoinara, what are we doing today? At the end of each month at Yusei Junior High, 5th, 6th period was a designated free period, decided upon by the teacher and students. You could have an ethics lesson, or give time for self-study, or teach test-taking skills, all sorts of things. Sometimes we'd even play cards. To be honest, the principal tended to be accepting of anything. Maybe this kind of thing is only possible because it's an underpopulated rural school. So, what will it be today? Play cards. I'm getting a tad tired of cards by now. Seriously, is there anything else? There's not a lot else we can do with a large number of people. Well, at our school, games such as Othello and the like are common for small groups. Oh, that reminds me, I saw something in a magazine earlier. Giant pancakes. Those look delicious. Hey, those are the ones Maki was eating. Yeah, they sure looked yummy. I'm interested too. Ooh, come over here. Ia suddenly brought up the subject of large pancakes featured in a magazine, drawing several people over. Sheesh, they're so immature to be infatuated with pancakes at their age. Yeah, I prefer fried chicken. You should lay off the fried food too. So, hey Riku, could I have you teach me today? Your grades seem fine to me, Karuta. I mean, I know you periodically get tutored, Riku. You should teach Mino too, then. Well, you surprised me. Considering your lack of will to learn, I don't exactly get the urge to teach you. Mino's willing to learn, but words are hard. How do you even live among society? Fine then, I'll teach you both. Come on. Woohoo! Yay! In addition to the pancake crew, there was another group gathering around Riku for tutoring. We were just introduced to like a whole bunch of students, and I don't know how I'm supposed to remember them. But I mean, they're sure to come up more often. But right now, I just mixed up a whole bunch of the same characters. Seems they're truly treating this as nothing more than free time. Yoi-chan, are you bored? I'm not bored, I've got the job of watching you guys. But just watching is boring, right? Look, I told you. Wanna play Werewolf? Werewolf? Allow me to explain. First, the players are randomly handed out rolls on cards. Oh, cute. The basic roles are Villager, Werewolf, and Seer. Seers and villagers in the Villager camp, while werewolves are in the Werewolf camp. Ugh. Villagers have no abilities. Seers can at night divine whether someone is a werewolf or a villager. And werewolves can eat anyone who's not on their side. During the day, everyone talks it out to determine who's a werewolf. If those in the werewolf camp can hide their identities and wipe out the villagers via executions or devourment, they win. And the villager camp wins if they identify the werewolves and execute them. Okay. So, If you're a werewolf, you gotta deceive people to survive. Got it? It sounds pretty difficult. You'll pick it up as you play. I'm really bad at just rules in games. I'm kind of playing this while waiting for chapter 3 of Your Turn to Die, and it took me so long to understand the rules of the main game in that game. And it wasn't until I'd finished that I needed to go over the rules again and again to get what was going on. So we'll see how this goes. Normally it spans several days, but let us adopt one night werewolf rules to play for just one day. This game is a little laggy sometimes, so excuse me if I need to refresh it sometimes. Okay. I think I came back to the right place. What do those entail? We're playing one night werewolf. Since night only comes once, you must definitively hang the werewolf in one day before nightfall. To be frank, it's quite difficult from normal werewolf, but we have precious few people, so oh well. Being either saved or eaten in a single day sounds brutal. Hey, it's just that kind of game. It seems this one's caught on lately. There are all sorts of games out there these days. As for participants, let's have Sir Rokuro, Sir Zero, Mr. Yoinara, and how about you two? My, would you be alright with me? Tina feels like she'd be adept at this game, judging from the explanation. I don't need to play, do I? Well now, this game is more fun the more people you have. Aren't you lonely all by yourself? Who's all by herself? If you're asking for a fight, I'll give it to you. She's a tsundere. Kashima's so susceptible to agitation. Under the one night rules, 2 rules will be added on top of the ones I gave before. First, the thief. They can trade cards with any one person. However, they won't know what that person's role is in advance. Second, the psycho. In the werewolf camp, yet the seer sees them as a villager, a real troublesome fellow. However, the werewolf doesn't know who's the psycho, and the psycho doesn't know who's the werewolf. But since this is one night werewolf, the seer will be able to divine that the psycho is the psycho. The seer will be able to divine that the psycho is a psycho. In fact, the seer is able to divine anyone's exact roles. But still, the werewolf doesn't know who's the psycho, and the psycho doesn't know who's the werewolf. Okay. Actually, there are other roles that form a third camp, but it'll get rather complicated, so perhaps we can stick them in once we've learned how to play. I wrote some notes on the roles, so make use of them. Tremendously thoughtful! Lastly, on One Night Werewolf, there are 2 extra cards in the deck. The leftovers remain in a face-down state. Only the seer can know what's on these cards, or the thief, if they steal a face-down card. But of course, should they pick one of these, they can't divine the role of another player. Okay. I'm a bit fuzzy on it still, but I believe I follow. The ultimate division of cards would be 2 villagers, 2 seers, 2 werewolves, 1 thief, and 1 psycho. 8 cards in total. Now, let's play around. Alright. At the proposal of Rokuro and the others, I ended up playing Werewolf. The card game. Cards with roles written on them were passed out to each of us face down. Now then, everyone, check your roll. Do it with protective prudence, so the person beside you can't sneak a peek. My role is villager. That might make it easier to see the score than if I had a special role. Next, the werewolves will confirm who their allies are, and dividing the thieving may take place. Everyone put your heads down on your desks. Each of the action phases came to an end. Upon Sasana's signal, everyone timidly lifted their heads. Well then, now begins daytime. Give statements like, my role is this, and try to guess the werewolves. Who could the villainous werewolves of this world be? Since we have some novices playing, let's give 10 minutes for the discussion. So, can I say something? Yes, go ahead. I, Kashima Akebono, the seer. I used divination on Professor Yoinara. He was a villager. Aha, that's correct. Oh, really? What, are you calling me a liar? Whoa, don't shout so much. What are you, a crow? Who are you calling a crow? More importantly, I'm wondering if there's any other seers. Huh? I'm the seer. I am also a seer, though. Ho 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 ho! Well, there are 2 seers in the deck, so such a turn of events is possible. Who did you use divination on, Zero? About that. It was you, Akebono, and you came up as a seer. Well now, that doesn't exactly inspire confidence. How so? Does Akebono saying she's a seer and I saying the same not make it certain? If we can take you at your word, then that'd be true, but look at the big picture. It's easy peasy to make that claim right after Kashima-chan said she was a seer. Yes, that's true. Well considered, Rokuro. Am I right or am I right? No, no, no. Zero, if you're really a seer, be a little more tenacious. Who knows? Maybe a 3rd seer will show up. Will it now? A brief silence followed Kashima's agitated remark. It seems Kashima and Zero are the only ones claiming to be seers. To be honest, looking at the face-down cards would have made it easier for you to confirm what roles are in play. But Kashima-chan and Zero, I guess you were both just too dumb to arrive at that idea, huh? Whoa now, steady yourself, calm down, take deep breaths. Yeah, come on, it's just a game. Sir Rokuro, I'd like to ask you to choose your words more carefully. And cease acting like a novice teasing sister-in-law. Well, I could kinda guess from your reactions. Sheesh, the sky. If I may interject. Oh ho? Don't tell me, a 3rd seer? No, I am the thief. Oh, and I traded for one of the face-down cards, resulting in the role of villager. I see. In short, if Lady Tina can be believed, there is definitely at least one werewolf in the village. That is correct. You would say that. Is there something that offends you? Sure is. It's making my guts boil. 'Cause the real thief is me. Oh my. I swapped with Sasana-chan and Sasana-chan was a villager. So from my point of view, it's pretty darn likely Tina-chan is with the werewolves. Though who can say if she's a psycho or a werewolf specifically? So I see. Well, from my point of view, I believe Madame Sasana, the only one who has not stated her role or indicated another, is quite likely a werewolf. And the one who raised his voice to protect her is the psycho. That is what I would say. Is Rokuro a werewolf? Nope, the thief. I see, so you're on my side. Kinda naive, dude. Zero, come on. This is rather a tricky one. Who should I believe? Well, One Night Werewolf never provided much definitive info, which is what makes it tricky, but we have 4 players making statements concerning their own roles. Lady Kashima, a seer, Sir Zero, a second seer, Lady Tina, a thief, and Sir Rokuro, a second thief. Regarding the seers, there are 2 in the deck, so it is possible for 2 to exist. But only 1 thief card can exist, so one of the 2 is certainly lying. And through divination and thefts, we've got statements about 3 people and 1 of the face-down cards. Kashima-chan divined Yoi-chan was a villager, and Zero divined Kashima-chan was a seer. Tina-chan stole a face-down villager card, and I stole Sasuna-chan's villager card. So the 2 whose roles haven't been corroborated are Zero and Tina-chan. Was I not a seer? If you really are a seer, you should believe in yourself a little more, okay? Got it. I'm a seer. Well, it'll be time to vote soon. If there's anything you want to ask, do it soon. I should ask for further details. Touch a student's icon to talk to them. Touching the question mark icon will advance the story, but if you advance without talking enough, it may sometimes result in a bad outcome. Okay. Roster. Kashima Akebono, Yusei Junior High Principal. Okay, this ID confirms this person is a student of Yusei Junior High Principal. Okay, she's the tsundere. Crude and aggressive, but honest at heart. Maybe. Yuki Utashiro. Always sleepy, often sleeps during class. Watch out. Karuta Urawashi. Average, but a high average. He's a nice kid. He's the one who's tutoring everyone. Tina Utapirka. Not nice to me, has a rather good personality. So, despite not being nice to him, she's still sort of charming. Also, her first name isn't really Japanese, so she kind of reminds me of, well, I can't remember her name, but the goth loli from Danganronpa. Susuna Kanao, a cult fanatic, sometimes talks too fast to follow. I like her. Naki Kokuriko, often out for show business, but good test scores. So like an idol. Iya Shishibe, dynamic and stands out, but not poorly behaved. That's good. Riku Takasao, he may be a tad bit too overconfident. I think I confused him with, who was it? The one who was tutoring everyone. This kid. They kind of look similar to me. Mino narai date. Mystery upon mystery. Smells like a forest. Why? Zero Manzanka. Hard to read his emotions, but he seems mature and kind of naive. He kind of reminds me of Takashi from Oran High School. Haito Minai. Likes idols, skips rampantly to attend their concerts. Him too, he confuses me with the other 2 that I was also confusing. Like, these 3, I still haven't differentiated them yet. Rokuro Yamakagashi. Tends to cause trouble, requires special attention. I like him. I am a seer. I divined Akebono's role to be a seer. Why did I choose her? No special reason. If I had to say, maybe because her seat was right in front of me? Maybe Rokuro's right. And looking at a face-down card would have been better. You'll just have to make use of that knowledge the next time you play. Right you are. So as such, since Akebono said she divined you would be a villager, you're about the only other I can trust. So we're basically in the same boat. I'm the thief, and traded with Sasana-chan, who was a villager. Why'd I choose Sesuna-chan? Easy. I felt bad for her cause I didn't think anybody'd pick her. Sesuna is the nerdy leader girl, yeah? What a thing to say. The more unknowns you can clear up, the easier it is, right? And yet you berated Kashima and Zero for not looking at the face down cards? I mean, that is... You don't have to believe Kashima-chan, but believe me, okay? Kashima. Man, first names and last names, right? That's the tsundere girl, I think. That's a little too convenient. You can interpret it however you like. Alright, Yoi-chan? Come on. Are you gonna freeze on me again? Now, how to interpret this game board? Well, ask as you wish, but all I can reply is that I'm a villager. Strictly speaking, if you trust Sir Rokuro who confirmed me as a villager, then Lady Tina is either a psycho or a werewolf. Okay, to me, the quiet dude and tsundere probably aren't lying. And I don't think mischievous kid is lying either. So I think Tina kind of strikes me as chaotic neutral. So if anything, I think she's the psycho. Yeah, if she's a psycho, that would mean there's no werewolf. What would happen then? In that case, there being no werewolf to the village means the psycho is not tempted by werewolves and joins the villager camp. This is referred to as a peaceful village, a village in which there was no werewolf to begin with. And in voting, if everyone votes for the person to their right, it distributes the votes and means no exception. Maybe she's a werewolf. Which is an option you need to take in that event. I get it. Might have learned something good there. I'm a seer. I divined Mr. Yoinaru to be a villager. Huh? Why did I choose you? Right, it's true. I did think about checking Rokuro or someone like that. But I felt like it might be better to look for other allies. You phrase that as if Rokuro is your enemy. There's a possibility he is, isn't there? And just look at it. If we believe Tina is the real thief, Rokuro is either a psycho or a werewolf. I think Rokuro is telling the truth, though. And I suppose you're inclined to think Tina is the real thief. He called me an idiot. Ugh, I'll never forgive him. She sure holds a grudge. I am the thief, and traded a face-down card, which was a villager. To paraphrase Sir Rokuro, I believe that looking at a face-down card would make it simpler to determine the distribution of roles. To restate my earlier point, my perspective is that Sir Rokuro's antagonism is quite suspect. Furthermore, his supposed trade partner being Sesuna-chan casts the suspicion of her being in the werewolf camp. It is my personal opinion that there is very likely a single werewolf. The trouble, however, is deciding which of them is a werewolf. For there's no point in hanging the psycho. Come to think of it, I heard that thing from Sesuna. Judging from her reaction before the game, Tina doesn't seem to have played werewolf before, so... Tina, let's just suppose that you're actually the psycho. In that case, there are higher odds of there being no werewolf here. And if everyone splits the vote by voting for the person to their right, there'll be no execution. If everyone's a villager, everyone wins. That's known as a peaceful village, apparently. Ah, I was not aware of that. Yeah, I think she's a psycho. Well then, allow me to think for a bit. Right. Did that advance things any? Yeah. Right. Time to save. told Tina about the peaceful village, so I bet that'll have some effect. Well then, we're just about out of time, so... Does anybody want to say anything more? Pardon me. Would I be permitted to say 2 or 3 things? Oh? First of all, I'm afraid I lied earlier, and for that I apologize. I am not the thief, but the psycho. Aha. Say again? Thus, the real thief is Sir Rokuro, and Madame Sesuna, with whom he traded, is a true villager. I would air my desire that we choose the option of a peaceful village. Incidentally, a peaceful village means the face-down cars are both werewolves, so there are no werewolves in the village. In this case, the absence of werewolves means the psycho goes in the villager camp. And if everyone chooses to vote for the person to their right, the vote is rendered meaningless and everyone opts for peace. I get it. But this doesn't erase the possibility that Tina-chan is a werewolf, not the psycho. That is correct, yes. As such, the rest depends on the trust you place in me. This has gotten complicated. Nah, it's simple, right? Either believe Tina-chan or don't. If you believe her, vote for your right. If you don't, vote for Tina-chan. I see. Alright, time's up. Please place your votes. On the count of 3, point at the one you wish to vote for. Peace and thank you. Sesuna's to my right. Who should I vote for? Sesuna. 1, 2, 3. Oh, well, now everyone has chosen peace. Now we'll reveal the cards at once. Was this the correct answer? The face-down cards were both wolves. Meaning there was never a werewolf and we chose right. I was not aware of it before, but this is quite a fun game. It's tense wondering what role you'll get. I think I've got it now. I'll try to do better next time. Feels like it'd be a pain if Rokuro or Tina had been werewolves. You're just dumber than me, it's all. Ahem? Ooh, scary, scary. Heaven help me. Kashima, don't get so emotional that you lose sight of your surroundings. You have a point. I lost control of myself. Of course, Rokuro, you shouldn't be so provoking either. I'm just telling the truth, okay? That's exactly what I'm talking about. Besides, Kashima gets better grades than you. That's right. But I'm better at this game, aren't I? Why aren't you saying anything, Mr. Yoinara? Well, well, now that we've gotten the mood, let's go for round 2. Oh my. As expected in a game that so closely resembles psychological warfare, you two are adept. Your compliment honors me. Sure, it's not just that all these guys are so easy to read. It's impressive how you can lie without hesitation, Rokuro. That's just the game, man. I don't normally lie, do I? Yes, I suppose so. I guess these two are best friends. Kashima's clearly upset. Cheer up, Kashima-chan. You've got a good conscience. You're just obvious, see? That's not true. Don't tell me she took that as a compliment. You know what? Why not? I'm equally unable to read the movements of Mr. Yoinara myself. Oh yeah? Professor Yoinara is unlike Sir Rokuro and Lady Tina. He just, well, unintentionally exudes an unreadable atmosphere, perhaps. Might I posit that in truth he isn't especially thinking anything? Harsh. Did something happen in your past so you lost your emotions or something? What kind of person do you think I am? Ah, perfect timing. Alright, get back to your seats. With that, the students returned to their seats one after another. Some of them sprinted over, while others returned with reluctant looks. After that, the class began moving their desks to the side of the room for cleaning. Phew, all done. Wonder if it'll rain on the way home. Doesn't smell like rain, so Mino thinks it won't. Oh, Mina's a good girl. She is. Not even remotely. Yikes, why do you look like you've had the soul sucked out of you? Haha, English is still too tough for you. Is it, Mino-chan? Gotta be Japanese, the curvy kind. Well, this is Japan after all. You can get by with just hiragana. Oh, okay. Hiragana is the curvy alphabet. Ooh, if Ia says so, it must be true. Sigh. Might have to think of simpler approaches even Mino can understand. By the way, are you coming to school tomorrow, Naki? I can attend until tomorrow. Next week I'll be off doing work again. Ah, I see. The world of showbiz is rough, huh? See, I can't tell it was dude who spoke before Naki just did, or is it someone else? If it was idols, I'd know all the details, but what's your stage name again? Well, I act pretty different from the way I normally am, so it might be better for me if you don't know. Huh? What? Do you act in plays? Sure, I've done jobs like that before. Whoa, I can't imagine. So, is there something about tomorrow? Since it's Friday, we were talking about the guys of the class hanging out together. Huh? Is it okay if I come too? Is Naki a boy? Why not? After all, we hardly ever get to hang out with you. I see. Then I'd be glad to go. Whoa, Naki-chan's coming? Nice. Outdoors would be nice. It's stuffy inside. But I'd sure like to go to a candy store or something. Giving your all even in play. That's the way of men. Giving your all even while playing. Okay. That's the way of men. Whoa, the boys sound like they're having a fun talk. Good for them. No girls allowed. This is a cootie-free zone. So mean. Well, fine. We'll get together tomorrow and do something too. Min'll come with. I'd rather go home and sleep. What if we went out and ate sweets? I'll go. I do not have plans, so I'm able to go as well. I haven't any special problem with that either. Ooh, sounds good. Kashima-chan, you're going too, right? Sure. Oh, just as I was fearing you might rebuke us as the class president. Do I detect a rather cheerful expression? She's class president? Nope. Let's all go together, girls. I won't stop you from having fun, but don't go doing anything weird or playing around past dark. Huh? Like that's possible. Time flies when you're having fun. I'll go and patrol outside and arrest you if I see you. Yikes. It's hard to tell if you're serious or joking sometimes, Mr. Yoinara. Goodbye for now, Professor. Goodbye. Yes, goodbye. As if they had never been tired from cleaning at all, the students went trotting home with cheerful gaits. Once I finish up here, I should get home quickly. Yeesh. When I finished my duties and left the school, it was beginning to drizzle. Better than this morning. Hope it doesn't get worse before I get home. Mister! Mister! Oh, the kids from this morning. What is it, you two? She is Shion. Riri is Nerine. Nerine. Ugh. What's wrong, mister? No, it's nothing. So, what do you want? I want to be with you, mister. Take us with you, mister. Sorry, I'm trying to differentiate between the boy and the girl, but it's a little difficult. No, can't do that. People would call that a kidnapping. Where are you kids from? Where are your parents? Mister. What are you talking about me? I'm not your estranged uncle or anything. Not in any relationship, much less married. Mister? Maybe they weren't answering the question and rather just want to say Mister. So, look, you two. Huh? In the instant I was looking down, the two children that had been there suddenly disappeared. Did they run off? I muttered that to myself, then ran along the road home. I sat on the bedside of a woman sleeping face up. I'm going to die, the woman whispered quietly. Stop it. I'm sure they'll come for me. Even if it takes decades, centuries, millennia, more than that even. Isn't this enough? So please, wait for me. Just... Sweat not only covered my brow, but dampened my dress shirt, making it cling to my skin. Still not morning. It seemed I had fallen asleep like a pile of bricks as soon as I got home. My pulse was still rapid. Still not morning. I looked at the clock. It was still 4 a.m. I questioned whether I should sleep since I had school tomorrow. I knew I had to sleep, but I didn't want that dream. Those feelings took precedence. I haven't had that dream in years. It's been a while since I did this, but maybe I'll sit and wait it out. I leaned my back against the wall, taking a not especially comfortable position so I wouldn't accidentally fall asleep. I wanted for the night to end like that, hearing only the noise of insects. I'm taking a close look at this background, and isn't it still the background from the dream? Like, because this is a really old-fashioned looking hut thing. It's still his house, huh? Alright. It's morning. Before I knew it, the night had gone. It did occur to me, but this approach isn't good for the back at my age. And I feel that. I gently lifted my aching hips. I was decently proud of my sturdiness, but it seemed that too had become a past glory. I do sit down a lot doing my duties as a teacher too. Better get ready soon. What was that? What was what? Probably has to do with my lack of sleep. I'd have to sort myself out and sleep properly tonight. I can't put too much burden on my body. That's what my aching back had taught me. Morning. My students, actually even students from other classes, were gathered outside the classroom. Some were disconcerted, some were having whispering discussions, some were openly weeping. But all their gazes were fixed on what was inside the classroom. Uh-oh. Oi-chan, Yuki's... Iya broke through the solid crowd of students to approach me. Her breathing was extremely erratic. And without even stopping to let me acknowledge her, she grabbed my arm and pulled me along. There I saw Yuki lying down with her head in Kashima's lap. Hey, Yuki, what's the matter? Yuki? I tried shaking her body and slightly prodded her cheek, but she didn't respond. I quickly checked her pulse and whether she was breathing. Looks like she just fainted. Have you called an ambulance? That's right, an ambulance. No, it's fine. You can calm down first, Kashima. I'll make the call. All these students and no one called an ambulance yet? I left Yuki to dial for an ambulance. As I stood up, I saw into the classroom. There... no, he was my favorite. I saw Rokuro in a gruesome state, hung in the center of the classroom. Hello, do you have an emergency? Is there a fire? What kind of operator asked that? Hello? Let me take a look at this image. Super Danganronpa inspired. The sound grew distant. All sounds were overtaken by the sound of my heartbeat. My senses returned with a start. This was... What's going on here? Looking around, I appeared to be under the overhang of a tea house, taking shelter from the rain. It had a strange uneasiness, and it seemed it refused to settle, instead of growing larger and larger. Unable to bear it, I took off running without regard for the rain that beat against the ground. What's going on?